Altavista on the front, red and white, outlined in black, and just like that, Appomattox is going to give the ball back 22 seconds in. Now, Kyle, back in the day here, we were on the floor in that far corner. But now Appomattox has kind of turned it into the press box for us. And I appreciate that. Not that I didn't appreciate the floor.
Well, both have their advantages. You know, when you're courtside, you get to dive right into the action. Sometimes you don't get the best angle. Yeah, exactly. But the press box is nice, too. And, they've rolled out the red carpet here at Appo.
Yeah, disappointed I didn't get a Christmas card from Aaron Rohn this year after we made friends at William & Mary when he literally knocked us off the air for a few minutes years back. Hubbard over to Juan Thornhill.
Man-to-man defense from Appomattox, Bob.
And you're going to see that from Altavista as well. Demetrius gets the pass from Thornhill, can't hit it. And there's going to be a foul. It's going to go against the Raiders. And it's going to go against number 20, Kyle. And that is going to be Travis Booker. His first one of the game. Comes with 7:05 to go in quarter one, and we are scoreless. And Demetrius Johnson looking to end that spell, and he won't do it with the first one. Back iron.
First one a little long there, Bob. First quarter brought to you by Apple Markets of Altavista. Check out the weekly specials all game long at all three Apple Markets.
We've seen some battles on this floor in the past, and they all haven't necessarily been Altavista and Appomattox. This floor has been used for some one-game playoffs, some district championships with, I know, Chatham and Nelson pop to mind. Demetrius misses both. We're all square at 0 as we've played 1 minute. Harvey gets it to the hole, can't hit the shot. Rebound, Karam's out of the hands of Darius Johnson and goes out of bounds. You know, I talked to Mike Carlero in the pregame interview about it. You know, when Appomattox had Brantley Shields here, you kind of knew some of Coach Shields' tendencies. With Travis Cottrell, you're still learning them.
Absolutely. Cottrell's been the coach for 2 or 3 years here. Steal by Darius really quickly as we're talking.
Yeah, year 2 for Coach Cottrell. Poindexter gets the pass. Now over to Thornhill. Juan puts it on the floor with the right. Now back to Poindexter. Left side, it's swung to Hubbard. Hubbard keeps the ball head level. Now goes back over to Thornhill. Thornhill right side to Poindexter. Altavista running some clock here. Looking for a good shot. And, you know, we talked about this on the way down, Kyle. When you're running clock, you might fall asleep, but a better chance you can get the defense to fall asleep.
Yeah, Altavista really spreads the court out, passes a lot. They lob it inside to Darius, and he lost it.
Looked like some contact with Darius. Demetrius will get it. And Demetrius is going to go to the stripe for 2. The foul is going to go against number 21, Chandler Harvey. His first comes with 6:13 to go. We're still scoreless, and Demetrius Johnson again will have a chance to snap that at the stripe.
Yeah, Demetrius missed both of them last time down here on this offensive end. 6:13 to go, no score. First one up and in. So now he's 1 for 3 on the night, and he does break that scoreless 0-0 tie. Colonels lead 1-0.
The ice is broken, 1-0. Demetrius' second shot is up. That one won't rattle home. Rebounded by brother Darius, and Johnson sticks it in. So it's been all Johnson here so far for Altavista.
Good job by Darius. Very active on the missed free throw. Doesn't take much for him to get those rebounds with the size that he has.
3-0. Harvey with it in front of the Altavista bench. Harvey lost his dribble. Wasn't really having anybody come to him. Quan Trent finally does. Now gets it over. Back to Trent. Trent, short little jumper, won't fall down. Thornhill taps the rebound, and I'll tell you, on plays like that, Juan deserves the board just as much as Darius, who records it. Thornhill kicks, tried to get it out to Poindexter. It went more towards Hubbard's direction, but it was kind of an in-the-middle pass. Thornhill tries to make up for the play, knocks it out of bounds. Good job by Juan, because a lot of times you'll see a guy try to make up for that and end up committing a foul. Tevin Morgan checks in for Travis Booker.
Yeah, smart play, and you're right, a lot of hustle by Thornhill to get back into it. There almost should be like half a rebound, like you can get half a sack in football.
Shot up by Appomattox, no good. Altavista with the rebound. Darius gets over to Thornhill. You know, Juan might not have the flashiest numbers each game, Kyle, but I'll tell you, if anybody deserves to be nicknamed Steady Eddie, it might be Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, he leads his team in scoring, rebounds, and assists. I would argue those are the 3 most important categories in basketball.
Darius gets it blocked. It goes off Demetrius. And now Chi-Town checks in, Chicago Ferguson. Yeah. Morgan will give it back to Blankenship.
Altavista turned it over their last time down on offense. Couldn't convert on that time down. They lead 3-0, though.
Three-pointer up and in. Tevin Morgan squares this one at 3. correct me if I'm wrong, but the first Appomattox game, didn't Chicago kind of have a little bit of the mohawk going?
Yeah, I think the hairstyle was a little bit different. He's got it cut down a little shorter now.
Just a message to all the kids out there that are playing Altavista. Don't change their hairstyle, please. I like to have that identifiable point. Altavista is having an identifiable point. Has 3 team fouls have been racked up against the Raiders now. Rod Glover with that one. It's on the floor.
Yeah, Michi Malbeck does check in the game. He'll do the inbounding underneath Altavista's own scoring basket.
Now, you got to see Altavista on Wednesday. I did not. So you saw Canavis Jones. Johnson cuts through the middle, gets a shot up, and it's really a member's bounce here at Appomattox, or a member's roll, I should say, as Demetrius gets it. How similar are Jones and Michi?
Well, they're both very quick. I think Michi can do a little bit of scoring, but Jones is a fantastic defender who will get after you. Turnover here by Appomattox as Quan Trent throws it away, looking for a teammate.
5-3, our score. Malbeck with it. Michi tries to go down low to Darius. Ball was poked away for a moment. Darius gets it up, and Darius is going to the line. That foul is on Dion Edwards. It's the 4th team foul on the Raiders as we have played not even 4 minutes. 3 minutes and 50 seconds in the books. 4:10 left in this quarter. And this is going to send Darius Johnson to the free throw line. First one down. 6-3. All Johnsons for Altavista so far. Kyle scoring the basketball. Darius has 3 to his name right now, and Demetrius has 3 as well.
Well, again, Colonel's undefeated at 14-0, 9-0 in the district. I don't think they mind at all who does the scoring as long as they end up on the good side at the end of the night.
7-3, Altavista by 4. 2 more games scheduled this week. A trip to Ringgold on Friday and hosting the Governors on Saturday. Basketball belongs to Quan Trent. Trent gives it up to Blankenship. Blankenship couldn't get it clean, had to go back for it. Right in the circle at midcourt. Now Morgan with it. Over to Ferguson. Now to Trent. Canavis Jones in the game for Altavista. He's guarding Ferguson. Thornhill gambles, can't get it, but last touch off of Appomattox, and you can tell Travis Cottrell just telling his team to settle down on that far side.
Yeah, give Juan a lot of credit for that turnover there. He couldn't get the steal, but him flashing in front of Blankenship, I think Kendall Blankenship didn't really see the pass too well, and it bounced off his hands out of bounds.
You know, and I've had some people tell me that Canavis Jones might be the best athlete in this program, and that's saying something. You know, I mean, even if it's an opinion, that's still saying something.
Right.
Thornhill with the basketball. Because, I mean, there's some athletic blood down on this floor.
There's a bunch of it on the court right now for Altavista.
Jacob McClure will fire from 3. That's just a little long, no good. On the floor right now for Altavista, McClure, Walker, Malbeck, Thornhill, and Jones. Thornhill kicks. McClure will try his hand again. Corner pocket, too long. Rebounded by Ferguson. Ferguson in the front court. Ferguson drives all the way in. Ferguson puts one up. Going to be fouled from behind. And that foul is going to go against Jones, I think. It's Altavista's first. It is on Jones.
2:54 to play here in the Apple Market first quarter. 7-3 Altavista leads. That's pretty impressive, Bob, if your first foul doesn't come until under 3 minutes to go in the quarter. First free throw, no good.
I would say you and I have known each other quite a while. We're friends, but we'll disagree from time to time, as in all the time. Did you agree with my comparison early on as Ferguson knocks down the second free throw that he is a little bit of a poor man's Tapanel?
Well, Pennell was a great player. Drive to the
Ballback is too, and he had it blocked. 7-4, Raiders want to push. We'll get back to that. Ferguson drives in, kicks it out. Morgan over to Edwards. Now to Blankenship. Now over to Ferguson. Appomattox doesn't really look like they're running what they want to run as Jones strips that one. Jones bumped into McClure. Appomattox had numbers for a moment. The pass for Paulette was a little too hot to handle. Blankenship gets it back and sinks a 3. And we're tied at 7 and a timeout by the Raiders. So Travis Cottrell wants a 30. We'll take a 30. 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go in quarter one. We're tied at 7 from Appomattox County High School on KD Country.
For more than 103 years, we've offered special banking assistance to many nonprofit organizations. I'm I'm Kathy Morgan with First National Bank, and we have a checking account just for nonprofits and faith-based organizations that has no minimum balance requirement and no monthly maintenance fee. We also specialize in offering financing when your group needs a loan. So come see us at First National Bank, and we'll provide your organization with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob and Kyle back here from Appomattox. Malbeck's going to bring it up for the Colonels. Michi over to Thornhill. Thornhill kicks it out to Jones. Jones drives in. Jones all the way to the rack. Layup in. Canavis Jones gets 2 in the first quarter. And the first man to score not named Johnson for Altavista.
Right, using the speed there, then the little scoop up and under layup. And pretty impressive for a guy who's only got 2 varsity games under his belt. Well, 1.5, really.
Ferguson trying to get around Jones, cannot, has to throw a pass. It had a little too much steam on it, picked off by Malbeck. Michi fires it over to McClure. McClure fakes it to Malbeck, now puts it on the floor and gets it back out to Thornhill. Thornhill will control. Thornhill drives all the way in, fouled and one.
He anticipated the contact, drove to the basket hard, and threw it up a little higher off the glass. It was almost out of the square when it hit the glass and then went down. And just another heady play from Juan Thornhill. Get a chance to make it a 3-point play after the foul there. Gives Altavista an extension of their lead. 11-7 now, Bob, and Dylan Allen checks into the game for his first action. So we were right. We've seen Malbeck. We've seen Dylan Allen now.
Missed free throw by Thornhill, and that's really when he's almost the most dangerous. Dylan Allen tracks down the rebound. Now over to Richard Hubbard. Walker will fire from 3. That's good. Ring up a triple for Josh Walker, and Altavista now up a touchdown and the PAT, 14-7.
Well, that hurts for Appomattox. Thornhill gets the 2 points. Altavista gets their own rebound, then they get a 3-pointer, so it's a 5-point possession for the Colonels.
7-0 run if you count Jones's 2 as well. This was tied at 7. Ferguson with it. Booker for 3, and Morgan for 3, pardon me.
Appomattox has done their share from behind the arc, Bob. Third 3-pointer of the night for them, and that's 9 of their 10 points. Good shot right there by the Raiders.
Thornhill with it. I think if you're Coach Cottrello or an Appomattox fan, you'd like to get something inside that arc, too.
Yeah, absolutely. They haven't gotten in the paint much, and they're going to need to do that at some point. Down to 40 seconds to play in the first quarter.
Richard Hubbard with it now over to Thornhill. Thornhill fires it out to Walker. Walker, 3 from the corner. That's in.
Why not?
I'll tell you, Josh Walker, they called Vinnie Johnson the microwave in Detroit, but Josh Walker has a tendency to catch fire quickly. Appomattox is going to try at the other end. Morgan couldn't get the 3. Last touch off Thornhill. Morgan looking over for the foul. Not getting any sympathy, though, on that one. That could have been one of those, post-possession things as Dallas Turner checks in for the Raiders now.
20.1 seconds left to play in the quarter. Going to get a foul before Appomattox can even get it inbounds, Bob.
It's on Dylan Allen.
This is his first. Yeah, okay. They had his second up there for a second. That didn't seem right. Raiders do get it inbounds. Got 16 seconds to work with.
Raiders miss that shot. Turner tries to get the board. The board is secured by Hubbard, and Turner with a little cheapie. It was a foul, but Dallas Turner just in the wrong place, wrong time with the bump.
Yeah, Turner was going after the rebound as well. Hubbard got there first. Dallas Turner just couldn't stop his momentum. 10.8 seconds left now, Bob.
Colonel's going to be shooting the rest of the way on the next foul, at least for the first half. And, you're looking at possibly 8 minutes of free throws. Thornhill gets in the front court quickly. Thornhill gets it out to Jones. Jones had it, lost it for a moment. Now to Walker. Walker again, that one's going to be off. And the rebound is going to bounce harmlessly out of bounds to end this quarter. Altavista does their share, though. 17 points for the Colonels, 10 for the Raiders. We'll come back with quarter 2 after this timeout on your home for Altavista Colonels basketball, 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Peace of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
I'll tell you, Kyle, one thing that impresses me about the Colonels this year that I don't think we ever really talk about enough is they're a pretty good road team in terms of, I think a lot of times you see people come in and get off the road, they'll look flat, they'll look sluggish, and that has happened here and there, but not tonight. I mean, the Colonels came out, I thought, firing on all cylinders.
The Colonels came out and looked good. Appomattox did tie it up at one point there at 7. Then the Colonels just went on a nice little run after that. After the timeout from Appomattox, Altavista did play well in that first quarter. They lead 17-10.
Starting lineup out there for the Colonels, the Johnsons, Poindexter, Thornhill, and Hubbard. Poindexter almost going backcourt, gets it over to Thornhill. Thornhill went upstairs to catch that. And I'll tell you, there's nothing that Juan can't come down with. And there's a foul on the Raiders, Kyle. 7:33 to go. Second quarter, 17 foul against Appomattox.
Yeah, a lot of team fouls early for the Raiders. Altavista only has 2. Thornhill had to go upstairs to get that pass, and then he took it to the baseline and tried to attack the basket, got fouled on the shot. First free throw there was no good. You mentioned the fouls on Dallas Turner. That's his second as well. Second one for Thornhill is good. And, Bob, with this many team fouls, you got to figure some of Appomattox's big guns are going to start racking up some personal fouls as well. I mean, somebody's got to get them.
Yeah, and, I think the one thing the Colonels need to keep in mind, too, is if you're going to go to the line that much, you got to knock some down. Right now, the Colonels are okay, but not great from the stripe. Trent takes that one into traffic, and it was blocked by Johnson. Here comes Thornhill with the board. Thornhill, pull-up jumper just right at the free throw stripe. No good. Rebound is going to come down. Darius Johnson sandwiched in between 2 Raiders, but almost one-handed that. Demetrius is going to get called for the reach, much to his chagrin and dismay.
You talked about Altavista from the free throw line. They're 4 of 9 right now. So under 50%. I don't even know if that's qualifies as okay. I mean,
it doesn't.
It's not in the dreadful range, but I don't know if it's in the okay range.
I was getting ready to add numbers. That's why I kind of shuffled that roster in front of you for a moment just to
thank you.
Take care of that. But, 4 of 9, not okay.
Yeah, I think 5 of 9, and you could say that's in the okay range because you're over 50%. Appomattox, hard time getting it inbounds here near Altavista's bench.
Basketball belongs to Morgan. Morgan passes it off. Glover, recipient of that foul. And that was on Demetrius Johnson, his second.
And it looked like Demetrius just stood straight up there, but, there was definitely some contact, that's for sure. Glover
first free throw's in.
Yeah, Glover sinks that first one. Appomattox 2 for 3 from the free throw line, in case you were wondering, Bob.
I don't think Demetrius is disrespectful in terms of his reaction to the officials or anything, but I think he sometimes, voices a concern. We'll put it that way, here and there. Do you think that picks up fouls on Demetrius that maybe wouldn't be fouls on other guys as Darius gets inside, tries to put it down? Demetrius can't, and he'll go to the line this time. You can answer now.
Yeah, back to your question, I certainly don't think it can help. And, again, we've talked about the good officials will let you communicate, even if you are a player, and say, hey, what did I do, or what was wrong with that? But you don't ever want to show any emotion in there. Demetrius' first free throw up and in.
Well, keep in mind, too, he's only a sophomore.
That's right.
That's going to be, and I don't mean this to say Demetrius is untactful, but tact is acquired with years, in terms of the older you get, the better you should communicate.
Well,
it doesn't always work.
Both free throws in there by Demetrius. He knocks them both in. Not only, developing that tact as you mature and get older, but just the referees have seen you more.
Right.
They're used to seeing you out there on the court, so they feel like they know you as well, too.
Right, and, in no way is Demetrius, just an eye roller or, throwing a jersey over his head or, going McEnroe on the officials or anything. But, it's just, I don't know if you're a sophomore and you say something, whether no matter if you think if it's disrespectful or not, do they take it hey, sophomore, you wait till you're a little older,
right?
Before you address me. Demetrius addressing the basketball, though, and doing a great job tonight on the glass for the Colonels. Appomattox with the basketball. Richard Hubbard is guarding Chicago Ferguson right now. Ferguson drives in. Josh Walker and Michi Malbeck in the game for Altavista, joining Hubbard and Darius Johnson. Quan Trent hands it off to Ferguson, guarded by Hubbard. Ferguson will pull a three. No good. Foul is in the paint, and it's going against Altavista.
The three-pointer was no good. It was an air ball long.
Altavista's fouls tonight, Kyle, are not, I hate to say they're bad fouls, but they're away from the basketball on some of these things, which is, I don't know, maybe you can give your 2 cents.
Yeah, they've committed 5 team fouls. Inbounds play here. Appomattox is going to score quickly there. Well-designed play as Ferguson breaks free and gets the 2-pointer in.
Appomattox cuts it back to 7, 20-13. Colonels on the other end, and it'll stay to Orange with 5:59 to go. Appomattox is going to check in a couple new faces, but they're not new, and Kendall Blankenship and Grant Paulette, they both had some time tonight, both underclassmen. This Appomattox team is fairly young, only 3 seniors in the bunch.
Yeah, we saw Blankenship a lot in the first game. He's a quick guard. He's already hit a 3 tonight, and a very physical, athletic player.
4 seniors, Glover, Booker, Turner, and Trent. Darius Johnson drives in, and the foul is going to go against the Raiders, and Darius will head to the stripe. I think that foul is against Glover. It's his second. And now, double bonus next time.
Yeah, 19 fouls now for Appomattox. 1-1 for Darius. First one rolls in. He'll get the second one. 5:48 to go. 21-13, Altavista leads. Second quarter brought to you by Apple Markets. 3 great locations, Main Street, Gateway, and Riverside. Always one nearby, Bob.
If I could pick, I wouldn't foul again if I'm Appomattox, but I definitely don't want Altavista shooting 2 with 5 minutes or more.
Right.
22-13. Colonels on the defensive, but on the offensive in the scoreboard number. Blankenship with the basketball. Looks for a cutter. He finds it, and Booker can't get it to fall down. It hits off the rim, rolls off, picked up by Altavista. Thornhill in the corner to Michi. Malbeck drives in. All over him is Booker. Now Thornhill with the basketball on the left wing with the right-hand dribble. Dips it inside to Darius Johnson. Johnson rattles that one home for 2. And the Colonels have pushed this one to double figures, 24-13.
Nice pass from Juan Thornhill. The old bullet pass inside to Darius Johnson, who had just enough room to score the bucket.
Ferguson guarded by Jones. Tough shot. I'll tell you what, you tip your hat to Chicago Ferguson if he's going to get that one. Canavis Jones was, knowing the bubblegum flavor on that one, 24-15.
And that was one of those weird angle plays that you talk about a lot. Really no defense for a shot like that.
Jones will try his hand at a 3, and it's in.
Why not?
Triple goes down for Canavis Jones, 27-15.
Give Michi Malbeck the assist on the extra pass. And the young guy, Canavis Jones, knocking down a 3. Another 3-point bomber at the scorer's table. There's actually 3 or 4 of them at the scorer's table waiting to go in. Line change coming up for the Colonels' next dead ball.
They're going to check in 5. Trent gets it underneath, and Darius just in bad position. And he's going to get called for the foul. And, you can't do that with a lot of teams, sub in 5 and not lose a lot. Altavista can sub in 5, and they don't lose a lot.
They don't lose much at all. I mean, we talked about this is a deep, deep bench. And this team, wow, I don't even know how to describe how good this team is getting, Bob, because it's almost like a pro team when they add free agents in the middle of the year. That's what they've done with Canavis Jones and getting Dylan Allen back from injury. It's like
a trade.
It's like they went out and signed some free agents and made a trade for somebody.
Yeah, the Yankees always talked about it, do you need to make any trades at the trading deadline? They're like, we got Hughes, A-Rod, and somebody else on the DL. When we get them back, we've made the trade.
Right.
Trent can't hit. Rebound by Dylan Allen. On the floor for Altavista, Dylan Allen, Hubbard, McClure, Poindexter, and Chase Short. And we haven't even talked about Chase Short being a, silent assassin as well off the bench. Poindexter over to Allen, now to Hubbard. And, I mean, depending on, how Mike Carlero wants to mix and match the 5-for-5 type thing, if he wants to do it here and there, I mean, you could see two totally different looks.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's normally something people do at the beginning of the year while they're trying to get guys a lot of work. Altavista is so deep and so talented on the bench, they can do that late in the year. Like
Poindexter gets inside, spins, and gets the two to fall down. 29-16.
Good shot by Eric. A little spin move there, making it look good. Coach Travis Cottrell needs a timeout for the Appomattox Raiders.
He'll take one with 3:43 to go before intermission. Colonel's up 13, full 1 minute timeout on KD Country.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis and my trusty sidekick, Mr. Kyle Hoehne, here from Appomattox County High School. If you're Travis Cottrell right now, what are you emphasizing in this timeout?
I think, if it were me, I'd be emphasizing let's have a good, solid possession, and let's get it attacking the basket. Let's get some touches in the paint. Because you and I both talked about it, Bob. The three-pointers are great, and they hit 3 of those in that first quarter. But, you're not going to shoot 75% from three-point land.
Right.
I mean, you've got to get it to the basket at some point.
Well, it's tough because I've always, talked to coaches from different sports, and a lot of them, no matter the sport, say, I want to worry about what we do. As Hubbard comes away with the steal, saved it, but it went to Appomattox, man down for the Raiders. Play has not stopped yet, and
foul will stop play.
Foul will stop play as Morgan shaken up.
He stayed down for a good little while there.
He wasn't in the line of fire. Foul is going to go against Hubbard, his first. And Dallas Turner will check back in. Turner's playing with 2. At the line is Clayton Harvey. Chandler Harvey, pardon me.
I believe this is a 1-and-1, Bob. I think this foul was on the floor.
Missed it. Rebound comes down to Dylan Allen. Colonel's with it. Short. Over to Hubbard. Hubbard drives in with the left, puts it behind his back over to the right. Now Short with it. Short looks left, looks right. Dylan Allen on the right. Poindexter drives the baseline. Eric gets in trouble. Kicks it out to McClure. McClure, step back. 3 is fired. It's not going to fall down. Rebounded by Hubbard on the long board.
Good hustle play there by Richard Hubbard to get the long rebound. You and I mentioned that a lot, Bob. Long shot, usually it's a long rebound, and you've got to anticipate that and be ready for it.
I think the rebounding might be the most underrated thing about this Altavista club. I mean, by us too. Because, I mean, we always talk about the scoring and the, flash and this and that, but this is a really good rebounding team. And it's not, total athleticism on all of it. I mean, it's smarts.
Yeah, you're right. We talk about the scoring and the passing and defense.
Hubbard for 3. Bring that one up, and Altavista now doubling up the Raiders 32-16.
When you shoot the 3 ball like that, you're going to talk about the shooting and the scoring a lot. Great job by Richard Hubbard there. He got the offensive rebound, and then he knocks down the 3.
Appomattox picks up the ball. They get it over to Turner. Turner finds a man cutting over, and it looked like McClure had position, but they're going to say the position was shuffling its feet, and Glover's going to go to the stripe.
Yeah, McClure had the feet set and the body was still. He may have brought his arm down a little bit. That's a tough call there for McClure because he thought he did everything right. First free throw up and in for the Raiders. That makes it 32-17. And another line change, Bob. 5 fresh faces for the Colonels. And again, this is interesting. This is something that Coach Carlero has done early in the year before.
Tribble.
Now he has the luxury to do it late in the year, too.
Tribble, Michi, Walker, Thornhill, and Darius Johnson.
Both free throws converted there that time for the Raiders.
Michi over to Walker. 32-18 as Thornhill drives. Walker passes up the 3 over to Malbeck. Malbeck bounce pass to Darius Johnson. Johnson had hands on it, but just knocked away from his reach, and it'll go back over to Appomattox.
A little bit of a sloppy turnover there, Bob, and that's to be expected, I think, when you run out to a big lead like this. Game not nearly over, though. Make no mistake about it. The Raiders are going to fight hard in front of this home crowd. They're down 32-18 right now, but you know they're looking to cut into this lead.
Minute 50 to go in the first half. Turner with it, guarded by Pribble. Turner drives in, passes it back over to Ferguson. Ferguson with the teardrop, and it'll go down 32-20.
And they got it in the paint that time, Bob. It's a lot easier to score the closer you get it to the basket.
Pribble fires a two from the corner, and it goes down. Chandler Pribble, not afraid to stroke it from about 12.
Everybody's shooting the jump shot well tonight.
34-20. Give me a shot. Ferguson.
From up here?
Over to Edwards. Edwards at the free throw stripe. Edwards over to Turner. Now Pribble on him. Turner blows by, and offensive foul. It's Turner's third.
Thornhill taking the charge. And I think Thornhill, again, he is so smart, Bob. I think he sensed that Appomattox was trying to get to the basket more and trying to use the dribble and drive to the basket. So he did a nice job anticipating that. Steps in front of Dallas Turner. And Dallas Turner's not a small guy. I mean, that's a little bit painful stepping in front of him when he's going full speed like that.
I'm surprised he got it, to be honest with you, because I thought Thornhill was kind of turned sideways.
He did kind of turn away from him there at contact, and you're right. Sometimes you don't get it, but it was a good call because Juan had his feet set, and Turner just crashed right into him.
Basketball belongs to Altavista. Thornhill to the free throw line and beyond. Thornhill all the way to the rack. Two goes down, and he'll have an extra.
I like that. To the free throw line and beyond, and it looked like maybe he was going to get cut off there at the free throw line. Kept on driving, got it to the backboard and in, and to the foul stripe for the extra one as well. 36-20, Altavista leads right now.
Some new faces again. Nico Tucker sees his first action tonight. That's a third foul on Ferguson.
Yeah, he's got 3. Turner has 3. Fouls are going to be an issue for Appomattox in the second half as they try and make their comeback.
I tell you, Altavista, very good at driving when most of these kids don't even have a license.
Now that's good. That's one I hadn't heard in a while. But very accurate.
37-20.
A lot of sophomores on this team.
Appo with the ball. Turner has it. I think if you're Appomattox, you just don't let Altavista score.
Look out.
Thornhill with the steal, and Juan going up with bad intentions, gets to 2, and he'll go to the stripe. And I'll tell you, with the way we've seen some intentionals called this year, I think Appomattox might be in the fortunate category on that one just because he was coming from behind.
Yeah, I
didn't go up with it.
You're right. Raiders probably lucky that wasn't an intentional foul because it was Chicago Ferguson that got him from behind. And
only his second. I thought it was his third.
I thought it was his third on the foul before that. Right. He should have 4 now according to your records, but we know Bob's unofficial as always.
Very sketchy.
Thornhill had a 3-point play last time down. How about another one? Free throw won't go in.
But we've seen Juan get boards off that a lot. Didn't get that one. 39-20. Now, again, I will stick by my original statement. 28 seconds to go, and
pick pop.
It's going to be foiled again. Malbeck comes down right side. Can't get it to go. Thornhill follows it. And that almost looked like it was maybe a little bit of offensive interference, but no flag. 41-22 as Morgan drives down.
Back and forth in a hurry. We get 5 seconds left in the quarter, Bob.
Short. Corner for 3. No good. Rebound. Tucker over to Thornhill. Thornhill puts it up. I don't know if that would have counted. But I think Altavista has some momentum carrying into halftime. 41-22, Altavista. Colonels are sizzling here on your home for Altavista Athletics, 105.5 KD Country.
Check out these new in-store specials at your local Apple Market. Energize with 2 12-ounce Red Bulls for just $5. Or grab an extra large bag of Doritos for just $3.49 and a 24-pack of Coke only $6.99. Or enjoy a tasty chicken tender sandwich for just $2.49 at Riverside or Main Street in Gretna Apple Market locations. Visit the Apple Market's convenience stores soon.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Feller Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Feller Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Feller Chevrolet in Altavista.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
If you're an Appomattox Raiders fan, I've got good news for you. And I got bad news. The good news is your point total from quarter 1 to quarter 2 increased in terms of points scored by quarter. Bad news is so did Altavista's. It was 24-10 after, or 17-10 after one, Kyle. Colonels outscored Appomattox 2-1 in that quarter, though 24-12, which brings us to where we are at 41-22. And I'll tell you, Altavista, that's the thing, and I don't think I've mentioned a lot of things that we don't give credit for enough. We give credit for the defense a lot, but we don't give credit for the defense leading to offense in my mind.
Yeah, Maul back there at the end of the quarter with the pickpocket, and he went up for the layup. Man, this team undefeated at 14-0, 9-0 in the district, Bob. It's like one of those things where they keep getting better and better, kind of like a fine wine. We talked about they've added some pieces, gotten some guys back from injury. This is a dangerous, dangerous team, Mr. Alvis, and they just continue to get better. They have so many guys that can hurt you offensively and defensively. I mean, look at all the people that have scored just in the first half. It's going to take Bob a while to tally those stats up.
Well, the one thing that, I hate to be the party pooper here, but the one thing that I'm interested in seeing is how are the Colonels going to handle some adversity. I mean, you can argue that they've had it a little bit with Michi going down, but, I mean, he wasn't down for so long, and I don't know the injury is really adversity when the Colonels are so deep. But, I mean, what if there's loss? How are they going to bounce back? What if they just get either – and, you can argue, too, is the way they lose, if they lose, does that matter? I mean, does it matter if they lose by 2 or does it matter if they lose by 20?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, and those are all valid points. And that's, if they do lose or, they have a game where they don't play well, or let's just say they don't play well here in the second half, I mean, that's something that Coach Cardellaro will have to worry about. But we're kind of dissecting now. I don't think most fans at home are necessarily interested in dissecting, well, what happens if the Colonels lose? Because they haven't lost yet,
right,
Alvis. They're still undefeated, and they're looking pretty good in this one. There's still a second half to play, though, here. And like I said, you better believe the Raiders are going to come out of that locker room and fight hard and try and get back into this one, especially in front of the home crowd.
It's a Subway halftime show. We'll step aside for some words from our sponsors. Altavista leads 41-22 on your home for Colonels basketball, Katy Country.
Try a variety of daily lunch specials priced under $4 at El Cazador Restaurant. The people that brought the first Mexican food to the area 13 years ago and still going strong 7 days a week. Come by for Mexican or American food, all reasonably priced, with drink specials and great service too. Voted best Mexican restaurant by you, their customers, El Cazador Mexican Restaurant, Main Street in Altavista. El Cazador Mexican Restaurant thanks you for your loyalty and your business.
Installing atrium vinyl replacement windows is like an investment in your home that can begin to pay dividends right away. You can save up to 30% or more on your home's heating and cooling costs. Add to your home's equity and add to its value by upgrading its looks and energy efficiency. Custom crafted atrium vinyl replacement windows. Invest in your home's future with English's.
English's is your complete home center.
Business 29, Altavista.
Don't you think it's time that your business account made you money? I'm Marion Marshall with First National Bank, and we've introduced a small business interest checking account that earns your business interest. That's right, interest. So for a progressive small business checking account, come to First National Bank today. We'll show how your business account will earn interest, and we'll provide you with an extraordinary customer experience. First National Bank, member FDIC, Equal housing lender.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Kyle Hoehne, Nick Bailey, the third man back at home base tonight, talking to us between the break, throwing out the radio lingo. You gotta love it. I'll tell you, next holiday, quote unquote, coming up is Valentine's Day, and if you're a fan of love, you've got to be loving this with the Colonels. If you're a Colonels fan, they're up 41-22. Kyle, what impresses me just as much? 8 players in the books so far in the scoring column.
Yeah, it just speaks to that depth that we were talking about. We've really been talking about it all game, but why wouldn't we with all these different guys contributing and scoring? Everybody's gotten in there and gotten their hand on the basketball.
Appomattox, 12 points in that second quarter. 3 points by Rod Glover came from the stripe. Chicago Ferguson had 3 field goals. And then Quan Trent hit a free throw. So you're looking at 1 field goal, really, outside of Ferguson in that second quarter, and that's going to be a tough way to win some basketball games. Halftime stats brought to you by our good friends at Subway. 2 locations, one in Walmart right there on Clarion Road. You can stop by Main Street and say hi to the gang as well. For Altavista, they were led by Juan Thornhill, 10 points, 8 of which came in quarter number 2. Darius Johnson split his 8 points evenly, 4 and 4. Demetrius Johnson has 5. Josh Walker, 6 in the first quarter. Canavis Jones has 5. Richard Hubbard with 3. And Eric Poindexter and Chandler Pribble each with a pair, 2 points. For Appomattox, Tevin Morgan's leading them with 8. Chicago Ferguson right on his heels at 7. Blankenship and Glover have each got 3. And Quan Trent's 1 free throw gives Appomattox their lone point. We'll take a break and come back with the second half on the radio, 105.5 KD Country, and the internet, kdcountry.com, WKDE.
English Construction Company has been in the building business since 1932, so it's only natural that they appreciate the building process. They recognize the fact that organized sports programs build character as well as bodies and minds. They know that high school sports build our youth into more well-rounded and more productive adults. English Construction Company is proud to be a sponsor of high school sports and salute all athletes, coaches, and teachers. A word of praise and encouragement from English Construction Company with offices in Lynchburg, Virginia.
Check out these new in-store specials at your local Apple Market. Energize with 2 12-ounce Red Bulls for just $5. Or grab an extra large bag of Doritos for just $3.49 and a 24-pack of Coke only $6.99. Or enjoy a tasty chicken tender sandwich for just $2.49 at Riverside or Main Street and Gretna Apple Market locations. Visit the Apple Market's convenience stores soon.
A short drive will save you money.
That's right. A short drive can save you hundreds, maybe thousands. The absolute best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Have a trade? When you make a deal, Fellers Chevrolet will pay it off, no matter how much you owe. Slow credit? Don't worry. Drive away today in your new or pre-owned vehicle. Remember, if you didn't purchase your vehicle from Fellers Chevrolet, you paid too much for it.
Fellers Chevrolet in Altavista.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Bob Alvis, Kyle Hoehne. Kyle, I've always prided myself on a connoisseur of the trivia in the areas of sports and professional wrestling. Yes, I said it, folks. You're a music man yourself. I'll tell you, I don't know a ton about music, but I'm sure there's a song out there that could exemplify both programs for the Colonels because, they are just having seasons outstanding on the boys and the girls. Hardwood.
Girls are undefeated as well in the district. I think they've dropped 3 on the year, but they're looking solid for the postseason and up 45-4 right now down in Altavista.
2 minutes left in the third.
Wow, so plenty of time left in that one. Probably not for a comeback, though.
Wow, Southern
for the Lady Raiders.
Southern Illinois.
Yeah, that's who
don't need to feel near as bad now. And the Dogwood tournament is going to be interesting. Looking like there could be some doubleheaders if Altavista can keep playing the way they're playing in both. And we would love to get both those games on 105.5 KD Country and at kdcountry.com. If you are a fan of the Colonels and you have a business or know somebody that does that would be interested in sponsoring high school athletics, give Kyle a call, 369-1055. You can talk to Dave or some other people too, but ask for Kyle. He'll love to chat with you.
We want to be there all the way for the girls and the guys as they head into tournament play. Turnover here early Basketball will go to the Altavista Colonels, Bob. 7:49 to go here in the third quarter.
And I pride ourselves on being one of the leaders in high school sports. I mean,
Absolutely.
we've been known to pick up a stray.
That's right.
Here and there as well.
Stray. Oh, that's well said.
Altavista now to our right. You've got to wonder, can they have the same success they had on the left side? Colonels have been putting a lot up on the left side this year so far, none on the right side in terms of the losses. Demetrius is going to be fouled. And
now there's a technical foul.
To boot.
It may both be on the same guy. They might both be on Quan Trent. I know the technical foul is on Quan Trent. Demetrius will have to shoot 2 of these, and then Altavista can send any of those 5 guys that are on the court right now to shoot the other 2.
The original might have gone against Chandler Harvey.
Yeah, you may be right about that. Trent, I believe, injured himself on the play, and he was upset with that, voicing his frustration to the officials. It may not have really been directed at the official. It may have just been the injury.
Right.
But the official was around and heard something he didn't like. First free throw in and out for Demetrius.
26 seconds in, and you pick up 2 fouls in the same play.
Yeah, and they had a bunch of fouls in the first half, so this isn't good. One of the things that's saving the Raiders, Bob, is Altavista's free throw shooting, although Demetrius makes that one. They did get up to 7 of 13 in that first half, so they did get better than 50%.
Now they're going to let the Richard Hubbard shoot the free throws.
His first one's up and in. Hubbard, a great shooter, hit that 1-3 in the first half.
You think he learned it all from Pops?
Well, I'm sure he learned a little bit of it from Pops, Mr. Dean Hubbard, the athletic director here at Altavista, in the building tonight.
Former basketball coach, too.
That's right. Very good coach.
I'm not talking rec
Russburg.
league.
I know. We had Mr. Ron Campbell on, and he was talking about old Dino when he was coaching over there for the Red Devils.
Dean, one of the better guys you'll want to sit down and talk with as well. Thornhill drives baseline. Juan in some trouble. Had that one blocked, and they're going to call a jump ball, and Juan flabbergasted by that one.
Thought he got fouled on the play. Possession will stay with the Colonels, though, as they've got the possession arrow.
Does your football saying for Juan cover in basketball as well?
Absolutely. I'm just trying not to overuse it because we've got 3 more years, hopefully, 2.5 more years anyway, of Mr. Juan Thornhill.
This time he will be fouled, and it's almost like he saw Rod Glover. He said, I didn't get the foul last time. I'm going right at you this time.
Yeah.
And Glover is holding up his hands if to say I was straight up, and it wasn't in the act.
Yeah, I think they're going to say Juan was passing. He did pass it off to Darius Johnson, so probably a good call by the officials there.
Glover's third, team's third. Demetrius Johnson with it over to Eric Poindexter. Joined by Darius Johnson and Richard Hubbard on the floor. 7:07 to go. Raiders already have 3 team fouls in the books.
Yeah, it's not good. They were in foul trouble in the first half, as I said, Bob, so more fouls is not going to help their comeback cause.
Well, and you got to think, with the way Altavista plays with the lead, Appomattox is probably not going to win time of possession either in the second half, as Darius Johnson knocks that one down 46-22.
A little 6-footer in the paint for Darius Johnson. Nice bounce pass from Eric Poindexter to give it to him.
Edwards drives in. He's in trouble, and he's going to be fouled. Travis Cottrell's probably asking, can we take the foul away, give Kendall that shot?
Continuation.
Blankenship did knock down a 3, but it won't count. Foul is against Hubbard. Thought that was his second. Board saying first. Thornhill guarding Harvey. Glover back over to Blankenship. Blankenship, he'll pull up from 3. It's good. I'll tell you what, I like Kendall Blankenship.
Yeah.
He's sunk 2. And, really, I just don't think he's had the ball enough. Demetrius gets it underneath, can't get the foul or the shot. 46-25.
Well, the Raiders got a 3-pointer, and then they got to stop on defense, Bob. They might be able to cut into the lead a little bit if they can score in this possession.
How do you eat an elephant, Kyle? One bite at a time.
That's exactly right. Bob Alvis told me that.
No, well, Mr. Alvis told me that.
Oh, okay.
Richard Hubbard's not the only one that can learn from Pops. Blankenship at the free throw line throws one up. I think he thought he was going to be fouled. Now Thornhill has it, and Juan might throw a little showtime on it, and he throws it down.
That gets the Altavista contingent on their feet. Big-time dunk from Juan Thornhill. And is there anything Mr. Thornhill can't do?
48-25, 5:22 to go. I'm not betting against him.
That's his second dunk of the night. He had the other dunk on a putback off a missed layup.
Wonder how he is in ping pong. Glover misses. 5:14 to go, but Glover was fouled. Foul's going to go against Darius. And that appears to be Johnson's second on the team.
Fresh 5 ready to check in after the free throw, Bob. The old orange line is coming out. It's not the penalty kill line,
right.
That's for sure.
Not the old Carolina blue team.
Yeah.
If Oscar Briggs is listening, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. Glover misses the first. Tell you, they might need that blue team back in Chapel Hill. Roy Williams and the Hills struggling a little bit.
Yeah.
Dylan Allen, Michi Malbeck, Jacob McClure, Josh Walker, and Canavis Jones in for the Colonels. They're countered by Travis Booker, Kendall Blankenship, Rod Glover, who's at the line, Chandler Harvey, and Dion Edwards, and 2 missed by Glover.
Not going to help the comeback cause there. Got to knock him down from the free throw line when the clock's not moving.
Jones finds a cutter, and Allen hits it off the window and in. 50-25. If you're Altavista, is this, are you playing too good headed into Friday? Blankenship lost it, and he had the last touch.
I don't think so.
Is there such a thing?
Well, I think there is such a thing. You could get overconfident and inflated and all those sorts of things. But I think the way Coach Carlero is subbing is keeping people hungry, keeping guys active. It's not just that starting 5 out there. So everybody wants to keep playing hard when they get their turn on the court, and I think that's very smart from Coach C.
Walker over to Malbeck, and you got to wonder how competitive is that going to make practice now? I mean, are you winning minutes there?
Exactly. I think you've
I'd
got to
say
be.
yes.
I mean, it's always going to be a battle
right.
in practice. When you've got this much talent on one team, everybody's going to be getting after each other.
Malbeck with it, and I mean, you talked about that in practice. I mean, your second team, I don't know what the second team is.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, where's the distinction? Jones with it. And, I mean, you got to keep in mind, though, these kids are young, too, predominantly. And they're going to make some mistakes. Walker catches. Walker inside the paint, and Walker hits a short little jumper, 52-25.
Boy, Josh Walker's having a great game. Hit the 2 threes earlier in the game. Nice little jump shot right there. He's got the size to shoot over people.
McClure with the foul. Correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle. You got 3 seniors in McClure, Walker, and Allen. And, I mean, really, I think you got to cut Allen a lot of slack because he hasn't really played. I mean, he hasn't played until tonight. 3:52 to go.
Poindexter. You told me to correct you if you were wrong.
I know, I did.
52-25, Colonels lead. 3:52 to go in the third quarter.
Michi almost came down on Morgan. Morgan will try his hand at a 3. It's short, rebounded by Dylan Allen. Malbeck driving, cutting through, gives it off to McClure. McClure puts it on the floor all the way to the rack. Soft floater by McClure won't go down. Rebounded by Quan Trent. McClure, no regard for the body, just diving all over the place. Trent with it, tries his hand at a 3. McClure, I thought, got him, and I think Trent kind of thought he did too, but kept on moving. Allen with it underneath, and Allen's going to be fouled by Turner. And I think Turner was frustrated at himself more than anything as he smacked the thing, and he smacked the wall. That might be 5.
It may be.
I think he had 3.
I think you're exactly right.
And that is 5. Now, we saw this happen to Appomattox a few years ago in the game with the Colonels, but, I'm going to give Dallas Turner a pass on that one, honestly. I think that was frustration. I mean, I'm not in his head.
It was frustration. It certainly was. But you've got to keep your cool. It's like you can't slam the basketball down. It doesn't matter who you're mad at. It doesn't matter if you're mad at yourself. You just can't do those kinds of things.
Slammed his hand against the wall, though.
He did slam his hand against the wall, but I'm just relating that.
I got you.
And what happened was Altavista got on the fast break. Turner fouled Dylan Allen from behind. He was mad about the foul. He went up and he smacked the pad on the back wall behind the basket. Referee teed him up for it.
I don't know if it was as much behind, but it was hard. It kind of came like from the side. But, I mean, I get what you're saying.
Well, it was a foul. I mean, the call was correct. I think Turner was just mad at himself that he didn't get the block. Fouled him instead. Both free throws in by Malbeck. So the Colonels make 3 of 4. during the technical foul, and they'll get the ball back.
Chase Short now in the game. Canavis Jones in the game. Michi Malbeck, Nico Tucker, and Chandler Pribble. 55-25. If it was a foul, a soft cheapie, and then he hits his hand, I think it's Pribble. Nice pass over to Jones. Jones drives in. Jones puts it off the window too strong. Rebounded by Appomattox. Then I think it's more of he's mad at the referee. But I think that was just he was, mad at himself. But, doesn't matter. He's got 5. Harvey goes up, and he's going to be fouled.
Yeah.
Now, this is a real young bunch for Altavista right now, with the exception of Mr. Malbeck. I mean, not a ton of minutes, of varsity minutes on the floor right now.
Well, we've seen, all these guys their fair share. I mean, Chase Short's been out there a bunch, played great in that Nelson County game. Canavis Jones, even though it's only his second game, he's been out there a bunch in this one already.
Right. Well, but my point is, when these guys have been out there, they're surrounded by other guys who've had multiple minutes. But again, I mean, hey, I'm a fan when you go to the grocery store. That 10 for 10 special, I mean, mix and match.
Both free throws no good by Appomattox.
Malbeck drives in, gets it off the window and in.
I think Appomattox thought Michi was going to pass. Michi had other ideas and got to that basket very quickly.
57-25. Trent, he'll fire from deep. 3-pointers up and in. 57-28.
Raiders needed that. They did have just 3 points on the quarter so far. Down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds left.
Malbeck over to Pribble. Pribble misses the bunny. Altavista really just, more than solid tonight. Trent's going to try his hand again. It's off the front iron this time, rebounded by Malbeck. Malbeck driving around. Malbeck slicing through. Malbeck finds Pribble. Pribble doesn't catch clean, gets it back, shoots it up, no good. Rebound still loose. Malbeck strips it away from Harvey. Now over to Short, now to Jones. Good possession for Altavista. We don't talk about... That's not going to show up in the score sheet.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the good possession stat lately.
Well, Malbeck might get a steal out of it on the score sheet, but he is just everywhere. I mean, running that point guard spot, he's scoring, he's passing. Giveaway here by the Colonel.
Jones, though, hustles back the other way. Short tried to contest Booker, but Booker gets it, and Booker gets a steal. Booker passes over to Ferguson. Ferguson's layup is too strong. 57-30. Shift coming.
Yeah, Booker, nice job on the steal, and then he got 2 points. Then he stole it again. Couldn't convert the second field goal, though.
Malbeck over to Pribble. Pribble will bring it back up top. Michi beyond the arc. The old man coming back in on the next one. Malbeck, nice one-handed bounce pass. Jones can't finish. Jones rebounds it, pulls it out. And, really a good play right there by Canavis Jones getting out of the lane. I mean, you never know when somebody's going to throw 3 up on you. Malbeck with it. Now over to Pribble. Pribble thought about pulling it back, then tried to go right side. Now over to Jones. Tell you, the old guys at the bench might not, or on the floor, might not even get in. Jones, though, sinks 2 just as I say that.
Another scoop layup from Canavis Jones as he drives right down the middle of the lane. Nobody there to stop him until it was too late. And he missed the first layup attempt on the nice pass from Malbeck, but got his own rebound. Like you said, pulled it back out, restarted the possession. Now he'll head to the foul line to try for the 3-point play. 59-30. 37 seconds to play in this third quarter.
Brought to you by our good friends at the Apple Market.
Canavis knocks it down.
Tell you, again, I say this every game. I love to nitpick with the best of them. But tonight, you got to look a little deep.
Yeah, and the one thing the Colonels weren't doing well, the foul line, Bob, shooting the free throws, they've improved. They're 7 of 9 in this third quarter from the free throw line. So you got to think Coach Carlero mentioned, hey, we got to shoot them better from the foul line. They've done just that.
Blankenship for 3. It's off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Altavista. 14 seconds to go.
Down to 10 now. Thornhill's going to take his time.
Guarded by Blankenship. Demetrius comes up with the screen. Now Thornhill over to Johnson. Johnson for his 3. It's off the front iron, no good. Rebounded by Darius Johnson, and Altavista right there, not cognizant of the clock, I think, because Darius tried to scoop one up underhanded when he had enough time to catch and probably fire conventional. However, with that being said, Altavista up 30, 60-30 as we head to quarter 4 on 105.5 KD Country.
The game is brought to you by these members of the Altavista Sports Club.
Chef's Drive-In, serving hometown pride with 18 flavors of milkshakes.
Comfort Inn in Altavista, outdoor pool and free hot breakfast with your stay.
Steve's Florist, best quality at the best price for all occasions.
El Cerrito Mexican Restaurant, authentic Mexican food, open 7 days a week.
Aubrey Rosser, attorney at law, Main Street, Altavista.
Piece of Pie Restaurant, Lower Broad Street, Altavista. Give peace a chance.
China Walk Super Buffet, American and Chinese food with the newest item, crab.
Perkins Twin Tire and Auto Service, your Michelin tire store.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
Altavista up big, 60-30 against Dan River. If you're Dan River...
Against Appomattox.
Or against Appomattox, pardon me. If you're Dan River and you got eyes... It has been. It's been a long day. If you're Dan River and you got eyes on this one, does anything really just pop out at you that you're really worried about on Friday?
Yeah, this is a great team. I think a lot of things worry me if I'm trying to scout Altavista because they do so many things well. They can shoot the 3-ball. They can score from the perimeter. They can shoot the jump shots. They can score from mid-range. They can get it in close and score the layups, the little turnaround jumpers, the post move stuff. And, hey, they're scoring from the foul line now, too, Bob. 7 of 9 in that third quarter, so everything scares me.
Appomattox misses the first try. Harvey with the second try. No good. Thornhill with the board. Now over to Poindexter. Sticks it into Darius Johnson on the block. Johnson tosses it in, and I'll tell you, Darius makes that turnaround shot look like a layup. That's 62-30.
That's exactly what I was saying. They can throw it inside to the Johnson brothers and score that way, or they can draw you out and shoot the long one or the mid-range jumper. I mean, this is just a really tough team to stop.
Edwards drives. Left-handed layup is going to go down. Nice play by Dion Edwards. 62-32. Altavista back the other way. And one. Darius Johnson. 2, and he'll go to the stripe. Well, Kyle, you know you and I always, whether it's on the radio or off, like to play one side versus the other. I'll say on Dan Rivers' point, they played this way for 4 quarters. They can't play this way 4 more on Friday.
Well,
you know, I mean, I know that sounds somewhat childish.
No, that's an interesting point, though. You know, you don't want to punch yourself out if you're Altavista. The free throw does go in by Darius Johnson, so 3-point play for him.
Morgan's 3, or Booker's 3 won't go down. Rattles in and out over to Poindexter. Poindexter has some help on the other side. A pass to Hubbard. Now over to Darius Johnson. Johnson fills the lane and gets in 2.
Extra pass from Richard Hubbard. Hubbard probably could have put up the jumper himself, but he saw Darius there. Now you get a steal from Juan Thornhill. Here come the Colonels again.
Introduces himself to the Appomattox bench. Johnson lost it, and Appomattox gets the last touch. It's going to stay to Altavista. Hubbard is down, and Demetrius will lift him up.
Yeah, Hubbard doesn't look well here. He took a little bit of a shot there as he was diving after that loose ball. 5 new spaces coming in for the Colonels anyway, but Hubbard might have needed a breather after that, even if there wasn't anybody at the scorer's table. Colonels leading 67-32. This might end up being one of their highest scoring point totals of the year, Bob.
He'll take a seat next to DeMichael Lee, who is still in the probationary tie period. Jones lays it up. It's too strong. Rebounded by Appomattox. Coach Lee, the only coach wearing a tie. I do wonder if that's initiation. Appomattox with the basketball. Over to Paulette. Paulette turns and spins it out. Now, if you're Appomattox, you've got to look at it from their point of view, too. How can we recover from this one and get well for our next tilt?
Yeah, still got to play hard and find a way to try and make something out of this fourth quarter.
Well, you know, we've always talked about this when, you know, there's a good dunk or whatever, it might count for more than 2. Well, depending on how you take a loss sometimes, that might count for more than 2. That might count for more than 1 if you get where I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want the loss to fester and stay with you because Appomattox right now 5-3. There's still very much a chance for them to get that 3rd seed in the tournament, finish 3rd in the district. And that helps when you get into regionals as well.
Foul is going to go against Booker. And McClure and Booker were just playing the bump game.
Clock was still running there for a minute. Clock's running now. Didn't know that we had a running clock. I think there was an accident. They stopped it. It's not like football.
Right.
67-32. Jake the Snake McClure going to shoot
Although
a 1-and-1.
People have brought that up from time to time.
Yes, they have.
McClure can't get it. I'm against it in basketball, too. Maybe if it gets to 40 with like 3 minutes left. Or 40 with 4 minutes left.
Well, you look at the situation the Altavista girls were in tonight. I mean, what were they up when we got that score? 45-4.
Might have an update as you speak. 5:35 to go. And this one, 67-32 here. The Altavista girls put one on the left side for them, 53-16 over Appomattox.
Good win tonight for Coach Deborah Spencer.
They'll host Dan River on Friday, weather permitting. It's always a safe thing to say in the winter. Malbeck with it. Malbeck had it poked away. Harvey drives down, lost it a second time as Malbeck comes over with the block. Trent thought about a three. Trent gets it to the free throw line. The jumper's up and in. 67-34.
Give Quan Trent a lot of credit, Bob. He's quietly put it together. Very nice game for himself.
Very nice play by Dylan Allen with the left hand.
It was.
69-34.
Had to sidestep Trent to get to the basket.
Blankenship gives it off to Booker. Booker over to Blankenship. Corner pocket for three. It's too long. Rebound by Dylan Allen.
Good box out by Dylan Allen there. I've got him for 4 rebounds tonight in this ball game, Bob.
Walker, soft jumper, too soft. Didn't hit anything. Almost rebounded. Malbeck tries to steal it. It's going to go back over to Appomattox. The high point total on the year, Kyle, for the Colonels, 73.
Well, they got 69 right now, and they got 4.5 minutes to eclipse that. I feel
you're projecting.
I am projecting. Yes, I'm going to call this one for the Altavista Colonels. 69-34. You never know, though.
How many electoral votes does that get them? Trent with the basketball.
Enough.
Trent guarded by Preble. Trent lost it. Tries to pick it back up. Jones with it. Gets it off to Short. Short taken down. 2 points for the takedown from Harvey.
I was just going to say it looked like a wrestling move there. 2 guys tangled up. Harvey looking for the riding time or the back points, if you will. I'm a Midwestern guy.
State championships coming
wrestling.
to the Salem Civic Center. Have you ever made that pilgrimage?
I have. You know I'm a wrestler.
I know you are. Dan Gable.
You want to talk about real wrestling, you talk to Dan Gable. Want to talk about some great team basketball, you better watch this Altavista Colonel team while you have a chance.
Talk to Mike Carlero, Nico Tucker over to McClure. Saturday is senior night.
Yeah, that'd be a great time to come check out the Colonels, wouldn't it?
McClure for 3. Triple is in. There's 72.
Yep. Great fist pump there from Canavis Jones because he loves seeing that 3 ball from McClure.
Timeout. Go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's perfectly fine.
Appomattox will take the timeout, Kyle. We will take it as well. 3:35 to go. Colonels on cruise control. 72-34 on KD Country.
In the past century, our community has grown, and Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service has grown too, alongside the families they've known for so long. Finch & Finch is proud to have served you over 100 years. A family business, Finch & Finch Funeral and Cremation Service, dedicated to your service.
Finch & Finch Funeral Homes. We're here because we care.
You're listening to award-winning coverage of the Altavista Colonels on 105.5 KD Country.
72-34. Dan River on Friday in Ringgold. It's going to be a tough one. I was sitting here thinking, if you're Altavista in the district tournament, you're going to see some teams that you've beaten soundly, whether it be in the semifinals, first round, whatever. If you're Altavista, how do you get motivated for seeing that jersey number again when you're like, man, we beat them by 25 or 30.
I think you're right. It's hard to keep your foot on the accelerator sometimes when you've already beaten the team a couple times. But a good three-pointer right there by
Glover.
Rod Glover. Getting back to your point, that's where the coaching staff comes in. I mean, they're the ones that are going to have to keep the guys focused. And, I think this team is playing so solid right now, and they're just having a fun time being out there on the hardwood. I think if you played the game at the Y or you played the game at some, parking lot somewhere, they're going to want to beat whoever they tee it up against.
Well, I think teams have trouble keeping their foot on the accelerator during the game, but I think when it's 0-0,
right?
They get hot. I mean, they're ready to roll. Nico Tucker couldn't handle the spicy brown mustard by Canavis Jones.
Yeah, quick pass by Jones. Tucker might be the only guy to not score tonight, although I don't know if Chase Short has a bucket tonight.
I don't believe he has.
Let's look for that.
Tucker challenges. Can't get the board as Trent comes down with, or Edwards comes down with that. Edwards gets it inside and a foul. It's going to send Appomattox to the line. Glover will head there, and that foul, I think it's going to go against Nico. Maybe not.
And now both guys, they've got McClure up on the scoreboard. I don't know if that was an old foul or not. Now both guys, Tucker and Short, have scored on the year.
Right.
But I think they're the only two that have not scored this game. Altavista has had a really balanced scoring output, 72 team points, and they've really been spread out.
Glover knocks it down, 72-38.
2.5 minutes to go in this one.
Canavis Jones with the basketball. Jones tried to go to Short, a little too strong. Ferguson has it, sticks it over. Shot with the feet on the line from Dion Edwards. It'll go down 72-40.
Appomattox has, really shot the ball well from distance. They just haven't had much inside. And defensively, they've run into a buzzsaw tonight in the Altavista Colonels. I don't know if there was any stopping them tonight.
Well, as always, I say when you get into the playoffs, if you're a D1 or D2 team from the Dogwood, Tucker is going to be fouled. It's against Glover, and I think it might be, it's at least 4. Again, if you're a Dogwood team and you head to the postseason, I think you've seen a lot of people that, you're not going to see much better than that in the region because
sure.
I contend the Dogwood is one of the better teams in the region. As Tucker misses. Tribble tied up with Glover.
Yeah,
Glover out there woofing a little.
You're absolutely right. I mean, this Appomattox team has got a lot to look forward to when they get into regionals, and they should get into regionals. This is a good team, and if they can stay out of foul trouble, Bob, they're very dangerous. They're going to be a tough team to play in the playoffs.
Tried to go down low for Glover. It's going back over to Altavista. And Altavista, you can argue they could get sloppy in a 32-point margin. Well, so can Appomattox. And, I think that I don't think a wide margin helps either team, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it's tough. You got to really stay focused to try and play hard and get something out of it. But I think the Colonels have. I mean, they've extended the lead, and that's important to do.
Pribble gets it back over to Allen. Now to Jones. Now Pribble over to Allen. Allen tries to bounce it down to Tucker. And it's going to go off Appomattox. And it will stay to Altavista with 1:13 to go. Pribble into Tucker. Tucker drives. Tucker goes up with it. Glover with the block from behind. Ferguson slices. He'll toss a 3 up, and that's in. Ferguson from deep.
Yeah.
Gets Appomattox 43 on the evening. Altavista 72. 55 seconds to go.
Long, high arcing rainbow there from Ferguson. He can really shoot the basketball.
Tucker turns and won't go down, rebounded by Glover.
We might have jinxed Altavista on getting to that 73 mark, Bob.
Edwards, sticks it in for 2. Off the window, 72-45.
Down to 30 seconds now. Let's see if the Colonels try and score, if they run some clock out here with 28 seconds now.
As Jones just stands in front of midcourt.
Yeah, Coach Carlero just gave his signal there to back it out and not really worry about scoring here. Down to 17 seconds now. Appomattox playing some pressure D. Dylan Allen's going to shoot some free throws there after a foul.
And, Travis Cottrell, his team's going to be back. They're going to bounce back. And like we mentioned, a young group.
Yeah.
Turner, Trent, Booker, and Glover are your seniors, but I see some talent.
Absolutely. And again, tough team to play in regionals. I mean, very athletic. A bunch of guys that can shoot the basketball from distance. We've seen that. Got some big bodies on the inside. So not the team I really want to face in regionals if I can choose.
73-45. 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, Allen makes 1 of 2 there on that trip.
Ferguson with the basketball. Guarded by Jones. Ferguson from deep again. Rattles in and out. Rebounded by Tucker. Tucker will hold. And that'll do it. So the Colonels move 1 step closer to Dan River on Friday in Ringgold. We'll come back with the Subway postgame show. Altavista 73, Dan River 40, or Appomattox 45.